Hello again, and welcome to Nailed It, Intuition and Tarot. I am Torch, and thank you for tuning in today. Today, I'm going to bring to you all a pick a card collective reading from the Wisdom of the Oracle so we can find out what wisdom does the Oracle, the Divine, want you all to know at this time. So please remember that all tarot messages are intended for entertainment purposes only. You're never under any force, coercion, or spell for viewing my content, so please use your own intuition, wisdom, judgment, and common sense. Take what leaves and disregard what does not. So I already mentioned this is the Wisdom of the Oracle. We have the Modern Witch Tarot, the Druid Tarot, and also the Modern Goddess Tarot. So there will be 3 piles, 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to pull a card to start from the Wisdom of the Oracle. So I'll speak the blessing as we begin. At this time, I am calling in the presence of the Most High Creator living within us and permeating all of creation and consciousness to join me now. I welcome you and your holy ones of the highest vibration into this space. Any energies or entities not as mentioned are not welcome here and must leave now. Our souls have a plan, and through this reading, may obstacles to our soul's plan be removed so that we can shine our brightest light out into the world. And may the roads which lead to the manifestation of our highest desires be now open and swift. Please guide the understanding of those listening to only receive what is meant for them without perversion. And may my speech and understanding be plain and clear, so that I will only speak what is meant to bring peace, truth, wisdom, and confidence. And so it is uttered, and so it is done. And so it is uttered, and so it is done. And so it is uttered, and so it is done. Okay. So here we go from the Wisdom of the Oracle. Pile number 1. What wisdom does pile number 1 need to hear at this time? What wisdom does pile number 1 need to hear? Okay, we have flexible in the reverse. This deck does read reversals. Pile number 2, what wisdom do you have for pile number 2? We have time for a nap. And pile number 3, what wisdom do you have for pile number 3? Okay, we have chop wood in the reverse. So I'll go ahead and let you all sit for a moment. If you need to pause the video. Again, pile number 1 is the flexible card in reverse. Pile number 2, time for a nap. And pile number 3, chop wood in reverse. Pause the video at this time if you need to select the message that is most calling for you. And I'm going to pause the reading and we'll start with pile number 1. There will be timestamps. Hi and welcome pile number 1. Thanks for tuning in. So as you know, we do have the flexible card in reverse. And I am going to take and read to you what this card means from the Wisdom of the Oracle. So the protection message when it's reversed means when you or someone else becomes too rigid, you lose access to growth and untapped potential and find yourself in an us versus them scenario. Loosen up, open your mind and heart, and see if a more flexible approach feels better. Rigidity will set you up for a fight where there are only losers and no winners. Could you find a way to bring about a result that is mutually beneficial? Meet in the middle. Spirit makes a great mediator. So we might see in the tarot coming up where there are some areas where you could benefit from being more flexible. Okay, so let's see what the Modern Witch Tarot has to say. Okay. Please show us clearly the flexibility card. It's a situation. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What else do you have to say about this message? Ooh, okay. I've got several cards here on the table. All right, so we have the Ace of Pentacles, the Death card, the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Hermit. And we'll see if we can get 2 more cards. The Two of Cups, okay, and the Two of Swords in reverse. All right. So what I'm feeling already looking at the end of the deck here with the Five of Swords being upright and the Two of Swords in reverse, you know, Five of Swords is always talking about where 2 people aren't seeing eye to eye, or you and a group of people are not seeing eye to eye. And in this situation, it's kind of like, you know, everybody wants to win. Everybody wants the last word. So since this is dealing with you, I would say that, you know, you seem to be in this situation dealing with some kind of conflict where definitely an argument happened, some words were spoken. This could even be talking behind someone's back. And with the Two of Swords, you know, I feel like, you know, there's no, like, you don't feel bad about it, okay? Like, it's like, I said what I said, what's done is done. There's also a stubbornness that's coming up with this Two of Swords in reverse. And I think this is someone that you could have a very loving relationship with the Two of Cups. So maybe someone that, you know, you actually really do care for them, but maybe there's definitely some issues coming in here, some insecurities coming up in this situation that led to this argument, you know. So you could have observed, you know, where this person was acting out an insecurity or acting out where they have just not felt, you know, completely validated within themselves. They feel, you know, someone in the situation feels left out, or like they're not exactly blending in with the rest of the group, you know. And with the Death card here, I get the feeling that either you or this person is aware of this. Like, this has been a challenging issue that they have dealt with for a very long time. And I get the feeling that it's causing a lot of issues. Okay. So if you're the one who is not being flexible, again, because this is your message, you know, I feel like the cards are trying to let you know that the inflexibility is kind of on both sides. Okay. The person who you have gotten into this tiff with, this argument with, they're not being flexible and they have their reasons, but it's also being made evident in you as well. And what I get the feeling with this Ace of Pentacles being here, I think that you have come to like a new realization of your value, a new realization of, you know, things that you're hoping for in the future. Like, this is a hopeful energy, and it has the feeling that things can't remain the same with you. Some things about how you move, how you operate with other people have to change so that you're no longer operating in this Five of Pentacles energy that you were before. This Five of Pentacles energy, you know, again, it has the feeling of feeling cast out, left out, like there's something wrong with you, like you don't feel good about yourself here, you don't feel valued, you don't feel important. So I feel like this energy is what's trying to die off. And as you are changing, you know, you're kind of having issues with other people. And it's not that they want you to stay in this Five of Pentacles energy. I get the feeling that like they haven't met you. They haven't met this version of you before, okay? And with the King of Wands, you know, you're standing firm. You're not taking no for an answer. So this is definitely showing you to have a bit of stubborn type energy. With the Death card being here, this could involve a Scorpio, and the Hermit card, this could involve a Virgo, or maybe you're either a Scorpio or Virgo, okay? But it's like you've gone through some type of transformation here that has you dealing and it has you operating in a more pure and wholehearted way in your relationships, but I get that the people around you, they don't understand this version of you anymore. And so if the cards are asking you to be flexible, I feel like the advice here is definitely that, sometimes when we are exerting ourselves, it's like, are you going about this being like a loose cannon where you're just saying anything and you don't care how it lands? You don't care the energy you're in. You're, the forcefulness, or your forcefulness is so apparent and adamant that you're not really being conscious of how you are speaking your truth. And I feel like this is like a misunderstanding, like, I feel like the people in your environment, they want to understand you because they care about you, but they just have no understanding. It's like, have you attempted to explain how you've changed? And usually, I'm not even into giving advice that says over explaining, but had the Two of Cups card not been here, this could be like, say this is like a sister, and you love your sister, anyone you consider to be a sister, you've got a lot of love for them, but they don't actually understand how it is that you have changed. They don't understand like how to honor your boundaries. So I could see this being a situation where you were establishing a boundary, setting forth a boundary that nobody even knew that you had. Okay, so as far as mediation goes, there is an opportunity here to approach this situation a little differently. And, if this person means a lot to you, when you're not in a mood of like, where the anger is there, the disappointment, the frustration is there, the annoyance is there, if you could find a calm moment to just, reach out to this person, hit them up, and, just say, that, you've changed, and this is how you've changed, and this is why you've changed, and that you wanted to let the person know because you care about them a lot, and then explain your boundaries. So, I'm not going to be doing this anymore. I'm not going to be doing that anymore. And, I hope that you understand and that you can get used to this new version of me. And let the rest kind of be their decision, because sometimes when we are, and I'm going to see what's at the bottom of the deck also, we have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, this is where I was feeling that energy of just like words being thrown around, and people not really being considerate of how they say something. With the Knight of Swords, to me, it's not always what you say, it's how you say it. And if this is a person that you really care about, you want to have a way of honoring the relationship, okay? Honoring your feelings for this person while still speaking your truth and standing up for yourself and setting boundaries. So that is the advice that we have here. I'm going to take a card from Madame Endura's Fortune so we can see how this situation is going to pan out. Let's go ahead and give it a three shuffle. Try to stay in view of the camera. Okay, what advice do we have for pile number one? What outcome do we have for pile number one? Outcome for pile number one. Okay, we've got 3 cards. Okay, the Caduceus, it says you will receive news from afar. The Dragon, strength and wisdom, and the Raven, darkness looms on the horizon. Okay, so let me read this Raven card, darkness looms on the horizon. I might take a clarifying card for the Raven, but I want to see what it says first. The Raven, the Raven, the Raven. This is a small book, but it can be hard to find. Okay. It's a, yeah, darkness looms on the horizon. The raven is an omen or warning of an ill portent, you know, so it might be the case that, you know, this relationship ends up unraveling and falling apart. I kind of hate to be the one to say that if you did choose this deck. But what I think is important here is anytime things are unraveling or falling apart for us, it is going to be because that is the best decision, you know? I feel like, you know, with the death card being here, however you used to be, if you were previously operating in a mood of lack, okay, and if you have done the work to address this insecurity, anyone in your environment who has been used to you operating in that energy, they may not like it if they were taking advantage of that part of you. So I don't see this as darkness per se looming on the horizon. I just think that there is no room for this situation to last, okay? And that these tiffs, these arguments, these misunderstandings, they might continue to happen with this person, and that's okay. If the cost of it is you speaking your truth, that's okay. Because, you know, you definitely don't want to betray yourself. You got to stay true to you before you do to anyone else. Which is why I feel this dragon card is saying to have strength and wisdom. And the wisdom to be in this situation is that if we know at this time that this relationship, or, you know, you might undergo like a period of no contact or what have you, if you know that this relationship might not survive, you don't want any personal regrets about how you handled it and approached it. So I do think that you should be the person to come forward and try to have a calm discussion, just so that at the end of the day, you know that you did everything you can. You apologize for any disrespect that you brought into the situation, and then you just let the person make their own decisions for themselves. Okay? So thank you so much for listening to this reading, pile number 1. And I hope to see you back real soon. Feel free to listen to pile 2 and 3 also if you felt called to those. Hi, pile number 2. The card that you chose was Time for a Nap. I'm going to start off by reading the meaning of the card from the Wisdom of the Oracle message. And the keywords here are rest, rejuvenation, and renewal. Temporary non-action, allowing dreams to arise. This is a time to step away and rest. Go into a state of non-action. Allow yourself to be free of the shackles of your goals, your lists, your desires. Nothing is as important as rest, detachment, and neutrality. If your mind is too busy, it won't allow you to receive inner wisdom. So step back, take a seat, and rest. Okay? Observe without engagement. All right, so let's see what's going on in the tarot. Again, this is the Druid Tarot for Time for a Nap. Please show us clearly what messages you have for this Wisdom of the Oracle. Please show us clearly what messages you have from this Wisdom of the Oracle. All right, let's see what's on the board first. Okay, we have the King of Swords, the King of Cups, the Princess of Wands reversed, which is the Page of Wands in this deck, the Nine of Pentacles, the Ferret, which is the Temperance card. Okay. Anything else here? Try to get 3 more cards on the table. Let's explain what wisdom you have. The Princess of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands. And thank you so much for your wisdom. All right. This one fell on my arm. Okay. And the star in reversed. Okay. Give me a moment to get into this energy. Okay, so what I feel starting off the bat with this King of Swords and this King of Cups card, you know, it has the energy that you've been like really calling the shots in your life. You know, I feel you, ideating, brainstorming, thinking about plans, making plans, coming up like, being like an idea engine here and not really making a whole lot of time to feel the feelings. And it feels to me like with the Page of Wands being in reverse and the Nine of Pentacles upright, I feel like you're thinking more about like how to secure your bag, how to make money. Okay, and with the Page of Wands in reverse, it's, my question to you is, have you lost your passion? Are you losing your way a bit here? Because I feel like, granted, you have a lot of ideas, but it's like if your heart's not in it, if your passion, if your soul fire is not in it, then it does have the potential to wear you out. Okay, so essentially this reading is asking you to take some rest, because something about your intentions and the ideas that you're having are not coming from an enlightened place. Okay, and I'll give you an example. It's like, say I have an idea I want to flip houses. Okay, and I've got the skills to flip houses, I've got the resources, the wherewithal to flip houses and to be a good business person. Okay, but my why, if my why is I just want to do this because I'm going to make a lot of money, versus having a why of I want to create beautiful, affordable places for people to live and spend the days of their life, So this is asking you to understand why you're doing something and be honest with yourself. Don't make something up for the sake of making something up, and maybe I'm gonna go back to this building houses and flipping houses analogy. Maybe the reason that you wanted to flip houses in the first place is because, you were displaced as a kid, and, maybe you saw your parents struggle a lot, or single parents struggle a lot to find adequate housing. And so you want to have this as a goal. So there's a bit of a heart connection that's missing in why you are doing what you're doing. Okay. Because I feel like with the Page of Pentacles being here, your goal has just shifted into, being successful and chasing success, chasing dollars, setting yourself up. You're concerned about your own comforts. You want to be doing good. You want to be, you want to secure yourself. And these are all, it's not that money is the problem, because, I like to think that, the divine wants their chosen ones to be prosperous, because if we can't be prosperous, then we can't help others. There's no benefit in having gifts and you're constantly just struggling, because if you're struggling, you can't help out other people who are struggling. Okay, so the divine wants us to be successful. It's just that the success is a byproduct of your heart energy and your why. And the money just comes when you're following your heart. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to strive for the money. The striving here should come from where we are healed at and what is in our heart. And I'm stressing this so much because I see the Star card in reverse and the Seven of Wands here. I feel like you're going to find yourself in you're going to find yourself experiencing like constant obstacles and setbacks, or maybe the reason that you have spent experienced so many obstacles and setbacks in the pursuit of this goal that you have, this project or work that you're doing, is because the stars in reversed. You've lost sight of how this is meant to heal you. You have taken your heart out of it. And so the cards are just asking you to, put it down, take a step back. I'm going to see what's on the bottom of the deck. We have the wheel here. Take a step back. Okay? Because if we have internal obstacles, or if you are approaching your life from a lack mentality where you don't feel abundant, I get the feeling that there's a strong period of manifestation and creation coming behind this. And you don't want to create in an energy of lack, because you're going to constantly get a lot of more lack energy coming towards you, which is going to go completely against the goal. All right. Something about this journey is supposed to be healing you. Something about this work is supposed to be healing you and keeping you close to your inner child, keeping you close to maybe the ways that you felt as a child. You had to step into too much responsibility early. Like, you didn't get the option to play and to just be a kid. I feel somebody here that's just had to work a lot. And maybe it was on you to constantly keep things in balance and constantly keep things with the Temperance card here. It's like, maybe you were the one who had to hold everything together, and you were constantly like the peacemaker. I feel like, you were the one, strategizing and concerned about, what are we going to eat for dinner? How's the house going to stay clean? And I think that you lost the ability to be able to play. Okay. And so it's like going into this new goal, or whatever, is your quote unquote kingdom, whatever it is that you're governing here, because I do see you in a place of power. Okay. In whatever, like having a leader role, like you're a leader in whatever this effort is. But I feel like, tap back in to why you wanted to do this in the first place. Okay. That free-hearted, light-hearted, playful spirit, if you can bring some of that energy into this and incorporate your inner child into this journey, because this part of you, this is still part of you. Okay. Like, something about your energy, like, still wants to have fun and dream and discover and explore and go into uncharted territory. And you know what I'm saying? Something about your energy still wants to venture out and be adventurous and like try new things, and not to always go with what's tried and true. There's even a space here where you can step outside of what's familiar and start to discover new things. I'm seeing this now with the Page of Wands in reverse and the Seven of Wands. Like, are there new things that you could be trying that you just haven't even considered because you've just been too stubborn, or you're just like, no. You're just flat out like, no, I don't want to do that. We never do that. I want to stick with what's traditional. I want to stick with what I've always done. And I get the feeling that what you've always done is not going to cut it in this new chapter. Okay. You're going to continue to have obstacles come up against you because you're being an obstacle, okay, to your inner child. all right, to how you need to heal. All right, so disconnect, non-action. I kind of feel like a pause period here that it's asking you to do. And take some time, maybe take a vacation or a couple days to yourself to reconnect with some playful energy and start to dream again, because I feel like if you allow yourself to be inspired all over again with something that feels new and different, it's going to make a world of difference in the fortune that comes to you coming in the upcoming season. Okay. I'm going to pull a card from Madame Endora's fortune telling deck so we can get some energy on the outcome and advice for this situation. One card, please, for pile number 2. Hand of Fate. Forces beyond your control intervene. Yeah, this is what I was feeling with the 7 of Wands card, okay? So, and also with the wheel being here, because it has, as the wheel turns, sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, okay? So life is going to start lifing here with the 7 of Wands card. So you are not going to be in the best energy for this if you don't get some rest, okay? So take some rest for yourself. Don't beat yourself up for anything that happens, because I feel like it's just the work of the divine, all right? It's not gonna be, you know, the decisions that you make to deal with this. It's gonna be the why behind it and the how behind it. So keep your energy straight, keep your energy pure, and try to bring in as much jovialness as you can to whatever is coming up. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and feel free to listen to pile number 1 or 3 if that resonates with you. Thank you so much. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. Hi, pile number 3. You chose the Chopwood card in reverse. So I'm going to read what the message in the Wisdom of the Oracle says for this card when it's upside down. Are you an armchair astronaut? Do you dream of wealth and fame? Big ideas, inventions, or desires with a capital D? The appearance of this card is a sign that you might be devoting too much time to dreaming and talking about your dreams. You have to get out of the chair and make things happen. You actually have to do something. Start with a small task. Remember, the big dream comes to reality only after you've begun to take incremental steps. The mythologist Joseph Campbell once said, take 1 step toward the gods and they will take 10 steps towards you. You know, this card already is giving me the energy of some procrastination energy. So what have you been dying to do and you're just not doing it? Okay. Like the divine, I was thinking like, oh my God, like the divine is sick of you. The divine's not sick of you. Okay. I just mean that to say, like, you know, they want, you know, help. God helps people who help themselves. Okay. So how are you helping yourself? You cannot just sit around here and do nothing. So you've got, I'm getting chills all over. You've got some energy here that is ripe for potential. It's ripe for growing. Okay. And I feel like if you miss this window of time that's coming up, and I am recording this on the Capricorn new moon, if you miss this window of time, it might not come, there might not be another window coming up soon for you to take advantage of this. Okay. Sorry, I had a notification on my phone. So, yes, definitely. Okay, let's see what we got on the deck here before I just start rambling. Okay, Ace of Wands, the Moon. Okay, 8 of Wands, the Magician, Six of Pentacles, Seven of Wands. Okay, I would like 2 more cards for this energy. 2 more cards for this energy. Yeah. Because I get the feeling, just looking at this Eight of Wands and the Moon card, that there have been like opportunities or maybe even signs coming at you, and you're just missing all of it because you're sitting around and not doing anything. And I can recognize this energy because I've been through it. So please don't think that I'm just saying this facetiously. Okay, I think most readers cannot read energy that they themselves have not already experienced. Because if a concept is foreign to you, or if you've never been exposed or seen it before, you're not going to be able to read for it because it's a foreign concept. It's never even entered the brain. Okay. So yeah, what I can see here strikingly is that your energy right now, you're resonating in the energy of the Magician. Okay, I feel like you have a lot of potent manifestation energy. Okay, whatever it is that you're dreaming about creating, you have everything you need already to go ahead and start doing this. I'm getting the energy of somebody who wants to get up out their chair and they've had coffee and they're ready to do it, and they're thinking about everything that they're going to do when they get out of bed, but they just stay in bed. They just stay in bed. And they don't get out, and I get that this might even be like analysis paralysis. Okay, we've got the Five of Swords, the Knight of Wands, and the Three of Wands. All these plans that you're making, this can happen for you. Okay, this can happen for you. This can happen for you. And the time is now. I feel so much haste behind this because I feel like time is of the essence. Like, you have to do it now. It's like, if oh my God, what am I thinking of? Like, if you want to make a garden, the best time to do that is in the spring. If you start planting in the winter, those seeds aren't going to flourish because it's not time. All right. So this has the feeling to me of springtime. It is your springtime now. You need to get a move on this now. And whatever energy this is that is keeping you stuck, take it with you. Okay? When we're dealing with our insecurities and our shadows and everything like that, you have a choice to make in the matter. You can either allow these things to get in the way and keep you stuck, keep you in analysis paralysis, keep you at odds with yourself. Okay, this is like the angel and the devil on the shoulder fighting. Okay, or you can do it scared. You can do it nervous. You can do it afraid. You can do it doubting. You can do it questioning. The point here is just do it. Because all of these things, this mental chatter that's keeping you like in this loop, I see lots of like thought loops and just ruminating and going round and round and round and like turning like kneading dough, like just turning an idea round and round and round in your head. And like you have dissected and twisted and looked at this thing from every possible angle. Like you've done that already. So all you need to do is take the most appropriate action to mitigate whatever risk that you found. But just because you think something is a risk doesn't mean it's a risk, especially if it involves your feelings, okay? So just because you're afraid to do something, that doesn't mean don't do it, okay? But I get the feeling like you're approaching this as a complete stop. You've got a lot to give. You have a lot to offer the world. You have a lot of blessings that you can offer other people. I'm going to see what's at the bottom of this deck, the Page of Cups. Oh my God. And I was just feeling this so strongly. Like something about the journey of creating this is going to heal your inner child. It's going to heal those fears. It's going to heal your doubts. It's going to heal the places where you're questioning yourself. It's going to heal whatever you're nervous or anxious about, okay? In the doing of it, you will address all of your fears, okay? Like they're coming up because they're about to be gone. So you just need to do this, all right? Like I love y'all, but I'm sick of talking to y'all about this already because I feel like you're just making up excuses right now. You're making up excuses. All right. Oh, and okay. Because I was thinking about like how ripe this energy is, you know. Whew. We have an eclipse coming up in the sign of Virgo in like a month. It's like around February 17th, February 18th, something like that. I feel like if you start this now, and it's just from the time I'm recording this, so if you're seeing this after this eclipse is coming up in Virgo in February, then this might not pertain to you, okay? Because I do want this to be a timeless message. But if you're seeing this in regards to, in some proximity to eclipse season or like a new moon or full moon, I think that's a lot of the timing that this has to do with, okay? This is from Madame Endora's fortune-telling book. And we have the Hand of Fate, forces beyond your control intervene, and the forces of nature favor you. I'm telling you, this is about cycles and seasons, y'all. If you get this started now, the divine is going to step in and send you blessings. Help. This is help coming your way. All right. You the magician and the divine is the magician. Okay. I do feel like this has a close relationship to a moon cycle because we do have the moon card coming up here. So please, 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 whenever you see this, act now, right now. Okay? Whew. I love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do hope you like my nails. I forgot to show the other pals my nails. Boy, I might have to timestamp just my nails part. Okay. And I hope to see you back really, really, really soon. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you like this reading. And take really good care. Bye-bye now.